Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited today because Harry and Meghan are back in the news. And there's quite a bit to get through, so why don't we just get straight into it?
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I'll get right into the video when you get right into subscribing to this channel, okay? Alright.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
Now, as per usual, everyone's jumping on Meghan. She blocked him with the claw. But really, why is Harry allowing himself to be emasculated like that? If that was my wife on the big screen at the Lakers game, she tried to fend me off with that, I'd be like, hey, you come here, bitch. That just sounded gay. Sheffield accent does sound a bit gay sometimes. Suppose it's better than the other half of my family. They're from Birmingham. They sound like they're deaf. Don't offend any more communities, Danny. That's Brummies and deaf people. You're only about a minute into the video. Seriously though, then I know... Seriously though. I know this is an overused term, but the cuck vibes from Harry. I bet he asks Meghan for consent every time they have sex. In fact, I bet he keeps asking her during the act. Oof, that's quite an image. A big, dishevelled, unshaven face rocking backwards and forwards with the glazed eyes. For 3 whole minutes. My love, do you... I can't do it. Moving on, swiftly. Everyone's been talking about Meghan Markle having made a surprise appearance at the beginning of a TED Talk. She gave a video message or something for a friend who was going to do a TED Talk. She must have cancelled at the last second because J-Lo came instead.
Speaker has an unmatched eye for a good photograph. I've experienced his talent firsthand as he has captured many meaningful milestones for me and my family. And I know there are many others who share in this experience. His lens has photographed everything from events that have changed the world, invisible moments we all desperately needed to see, along with some of the planet's most recognized.
And it goes on like this.
Yeah. All the hyperbole. Anyone listening would think her friend's the Dalai Lama. Some bloody photographer. I'm sure he takes nice photos. Anyway, in other news, the Markles are all coming together to give an interview on Channel 7 Australia on the 3rd of May, the day before the King's coronation. And I know that every time I suggest anything like this in any one of my videos, you all come for me in the comments. I think... Let's just say I don't think Meghan is the only Markle doing a worldwide privacy tour.
The world has never seen Meghan like this. The homecoming queen. The Markle family reunite.
This would be your last interview ever.
Treasured memories, home truths, and secret tapes are all coming out.
She would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad.
I understand with the dramatic music and the way they're cutting up this trailer that Channel 7 Australia just want to make money, they just want to sell a story, and I don't know what the motivation is for the Markles doing this interview, really. I think that maybe they just want to make money out of this, which, fair enough, you know, if you can sit down and make a lot of money just by talking about a member of your family, somebody that you feel has done you wrong, that's fine, I guess. I prefer the royal family's approach, you know, never complain, never explain. But then these are ordinary people. At the end of the day, they might need the money. I just find it a bit cringe.
We're not going to go away. This is going to change everything.
Yeah, Thomas Markle Jr., her brother, he seems like the worst, to be honest. He seems a bit toxic. I don't know. I've got no idea. I've never met the man. Just from what I've seen, you know, he's got a YouTube channel doing parodies of Harry and Meghan, which is just, I don't know, a bit weird. It's your sister. Like, you can have a serious family feud and, I don't know, even sell it to the papers. But I don't know. It just seems like he's trying to... it just feels like he's trying to cash in on it. I get extortion-y vibes from him.
They're really unhealthy for each other. It's a toxic relationship.
Dad's deathbed plea.
The heartless psychopath that directed this trailer. This is an Australian TV channel, right? So the director has told the guy doing the voiceover on the trailer to do it in an American accent, so it sounds like a dramatic action movie or something like that. Now, when you read the line, deathbed plea, I'm going to need you to read that line with an extremely dramatic intonation. As deep as you can, and American. If you could do American, that'd be great. Say no more, mate. I know exactly what you're going for.
Deathbed plea. To the daughter he lost.
How can I fix this?
On the eve of the coronation, the inside story.
Harry already had a lot of these thoughts and feelings.
Harry had lots of thoughts. That's a blatant lie.
And Meghan just kind of emboldened him.
And is this the biggest Prince Andrew bombshell yet?
What was your relationship with Prince Andrew?
The world will see it all, exclusively on Spotlight.
Anyway, it's beside the point what I think personally about what the Markles reveal in their interview on Australian television. But, you know, I will say one thing. I think we all know that any dirt that they dig up about Meghan will have to be pre-middle school, because she spent the last 30 years fighting tooth and nail, or fang and claw, for women's liberation.
Because at the end of the day, I think what scares people is this idea of female empowerment is...
She's right, you know. I'm terrified of female empowerment. I'm always observing my wife for the telltale signs of female empowerment. In fact, I get up early some mornings and I go into the bedroom where my wife's still sleeping, because obviously I don't sleep in the bedroom. I'm a man, right? I fall asleep watching the telly on the sofa every night. And anyway, I go into the bedroom and I watch her, and I don't know what I'm looking for exactly. I just don't want to get in ahead of her station, you know? I don't know what I'm looking for. Is she looking too empowered, I think to myself. No, it's fine. Go and make some coffee. Sometimes the doubts creep into my head and I do a double take. No, it's fine. You're being paranoid.
is somehow threatening. No, it's not. You empower the women, you're empowering the community. When a woman is empowered, it changes absolutely everything in the community.
Yeah, for the worse.
And I think what's been really interesting is it's all so interconnected. And when you look at something like that, you say, okay, well, building wells, sure. You have the water and you have the life source. But
don't get me wrong, building wells is great. Where is she going with this? Building wells? Sure. You've got the water and the life source. The narcissistic word salad. Water, life source, source of all life, microscopic cell-like structures, DNA, tree-dwelling rodents, our common ancestor. Brontosaurus was the heaviest land animal to ever live. I was the smart one. When Alex Trebek died, people sent me condolences. I play a mean game of Scrabble.
Okay, well, building wells, sure. You have the water and you have the life source. But what it also does is enables young girls to not have to walk miles to get water for their family. And instead, they're able to stay in school. And that education is going to foster them being able to be very active in their society and empower female leadership. Ah,
you see, she's one step ahead. Who would have thunk it, right? That you could give water to a drought-stricken, starving village in Africa, and it would have other positive knock-on effects once that they've got. Because let me explain, right? It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They've got oxygen, as far as we know, in the village, right? Otherwise, they'd really be screwed. But then when you give them water, right, they can move up to the next step, the next rung on the ladder, if you will, of the pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Because you've got oxygen, you know, I guess, water, female empowerment, right? Right, and then they can get food after all the women are empowered, you know, because that food comes right after female empowerment, I believe, in Maslow's hierarchy.
You know, it seems like a broad stroke, and many people will say, okay, fine, yes, you want girls to have an education, you just want to have smart girls.
Who is that conversation being had with? Someone who's being dismissive. Fine, have your education for women and you'll have your smart girls, all right? God!
It's actually much more complex than that.
Is it though?
And it really does solve so many of the world's problems when a girl has access to education. You know, I mean, you look at it and you could say, here are the vulnerabilities and the challenges that come about when they don't have access to education, right? Early childhood marriage, susceptibility to trafficking, modern slavery, all of that. But equally, look at all of the positives that come out of it when you do have access to education for young girls, how it affects economic development, the GDP, billions of dollars on the table are lost by girls being pulled out of education.
Meghan Markle's talents are wasted on us. Get her on the next flight to Kabul. Post haste. What the world needs now is for Meghan to sit down with the leaders of the Taliban and explain to them, look, by holding women back, we've got all these problems, okay? If you send the girls back to school, lots of social economic benefits, okay? Or better still, get her on the next flight to Lagos, Nigeria, and she could talk sense into that militia group whose name I probably shouldn't mention. But I'm sure they'd be willing to listen to her, what with her being one of their own and all.
I just had my genealogy done a couple years ago.
What?
What are you? 43% Nigerian.
No way! No, whoa, Jacqueline. Oh my gosh, are you really serious?
Yeah.
Or at least 43% of her. Yeah, she talks a lot of sense, that Meghan. And those of you who have been following this channel for a while will know that I am a great admirer of some of Meghan's quotes. And one that I've really taken on board over the last few months, it's really changed the way I think about things, is when she said that famous, that she imparted that famous bit of wisdom. What was it exactly? Yes. When you leave the door open for meaningful conversation, or for turning meaningful conversation into action, game changer.
Because I think once you turn meaningful conversation into action, game changer.
Well, you may laugh, but I don't know about you guys. Have you tried leaving the door open for turning meaningful conversation into action? Because it's changed my game. Well, I found another thing that Meghan describes as game-changing today. Take a look.
You know what? There's honestly nothing as delicious or as impressive, in my opinion, as a perfectly roasted chicken. And I think people think that it's like you pick it up at the grocery store. No. If you have an Ina Garten level roasted chicken, game changer.
Indeed. Wise words, Meghan. Wise beyond your years. An Ina Garten roast chicken is game changer.
F-16s, please.
Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Give the video a like. I tell you what, if this video gets 5,000 likes, that's not a lot. 5,000 likes in the first 24 hours after it's published, I will do a live, because I've been promising to do a live for ages, and I'll do one. Okay, I'll do one this weekend. Okay. All right, thanks very much. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Bye-bye.